Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu ala nabi. The praises are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of the worlds, and may peace and blessings be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, born in the fiqh al-Hanbaliya, the Hanbali school, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, as explained by Ibn Qudama. I'm here in Granbury, Texas. I'm joined by nice brothers over here. We'll go to the next session, the discord, the fi ad-nushuz, fi nushuz. So there's some issues based upon that, where the people, they get into disagreements, the husband and the wife. So let's talk about those issues. So, Brother Muhammad, do you want to read the first one?
The woman fears from her husband in discord or abandonment.
Yes. So sometimes a woman, she might have a think that her husband is going to leave her, or the husband doesn't want to be with her. So sometimes a woman has that feeling. And this again, it talks about the what happened with Soda. Soda, she was scared that Prophet Muhammad was going to divorce her and leave her. So she might be in that state that she might fear that her husband is going to leave her. So sometimes a woman, they're in that state. Then you read the number 6, Imam Faisal. Yes. So what happened in the case of Soda? She dropped her right for Prophet Muhammad to spend the night with her, and she gave her right to Aisha radiallahu anha. So a woman, she can do that. She has the rights that the husband has to give her. If she thinks that, or she fears that her husband is going to leave her, she can say, okay, I'm going to drop these rights that I have, and then he'll stay with me then for sure. He's not going to leave me in that case. So that's what it's talking about here in that particular case. Okay, did you read number 3, Brother Khalid?
This is in the shoes of the man.
Yes, you can say that. The discord for the man. Yeah. Yep, the number 7. That's what I mentioned. You would say that. Mhm. Yes, yes. So that's what I mentioned that earlier. That's what he did that. And sometimes a woman, the woman has a right to be spent on. She has a right to have the time with her husband. She has a right to have a shelter, a place to stay, all those things. And the man, he might have second thoughts or something like that. So if she fears that, then she has those rights, but voluntarily she can give them up if she wants. She can do that. Because the thing is, the man, he has a right to divorce the woman anytime that he wants. Now, even though it's something that's most hated in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he can do that if he wants to. If he wants to, he can divorce his wife if he wants to. So he has that choice to do that. So sometimes the wife, she doesn't want that to happen. So she might try to go out of her way and give up some of her rights that she has so that the husband doesn't do that. And that's what Soda did in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She was worried that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going to divorce her. So he said, okay, I just give up my time, give it to Aisha, and then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stayed with her. Okay, to read number 4, what's your, Brother Omar, Sheikh Omar? No, number 8. I'm sorry. No. No. So this is mentioned in the Quran that for a woman, if she is disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or doing something that's inappropriate, something that's wrong, then what happens is, what he does is he tries to advise her and he warns her. First he tells her to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and things like that. Wa'adha. Wa'adha means mawidatukum, means to give you the advice, give you the warning. So he does that first to his wife. If his wife is doing something that's inappropriate or not correct, not right, that's what the man does, the first step.
So what does it mean here by the shoes? That she refused to have relations with him?
Yeah, that could be, it talks about that later, I think, but that could be one of the things, or maybe she's not doing the obligations that you have to do in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it could be any of those things. Or, no, and again, the man, he has to treat the woman nicely. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. So it's not appropriate for the man to be a tyrant or be overpowering her and doing things like that. But he's got to be good to the woman and treat her in a good way. So that's the thing to bear in mind. Not tell her to do things that are harmful for her or bad for her, but to be good for the wife. That's what the man has to do. So that's what it refers to. So it's pertaining to things that are besides that, where she might be doing something that is So that's not appropriate, no. That's it. Okay, inshallah. So let's go to number 9.
Right?
Yes,
If she show discord or refrain from her in bed.
yes. So the first step is to warn her, talk to her, tell her that these things are not appropriate. And then after that, a person, if she is still not doing the nushuz or doing the things that are forbidden, haram, or inappropriate, then the man can refrain from going to bed with her at nighttime. And the women, psychologically, they feel great torture, great pain, great mental anguish if her man doesn't go to bed with her. No, that's the reality. No, if the man doesn't go to bed with her, to sleep with her, or sleep next to her in the bed, she feels like so much pain, so much anguish, so much mental agony. That's the nature of the woman. That's the psychology of the woman. So that's the next step. If the woman doesn't listen to, the wife doesn't listen to the admonition, doesn't listen to the advice, then the man just don't go to the bed with her, and she'll feel so much pain and anguish from that because she's afraid. The thing is, the way that the women feel, they have security, and you hear the term insecurity, right? And the woman, if the man is not with her, she's very insecure. She'll feel that her whole world is gone, because the man gives her food, the man gives her protection, protects her, the man, he provides a place for her, and the man is not being with her. So what's going to happen? Oh, she's going to be destroyed. She's going to feel the end of the world is there. So psychologically, she feels so much pain and anguish if the man doesn't sleep with her at night in the bed. So then that's the next step the man he can do it, just stay away from her in the bed. And then she feels this anguish and psychological pain, extreme amount of pain, and that has a very strong effect. That's what it says, number 9. Okay, to read number 10, next.
فإن لم يرضعها
Mhm,
فله أن يضربها
mhm.
ضربا غير مبرح.
Yes,
If that does not deter her, then spank her without any harm.
yes. So over here, this means that a person just, lightly, not severely, to spank her. And the ulama, they say no more than the size of a miswak. And the size of a miswak, no matter how hard you do it, it's not going to hurt anybody. It's not going to do anything to anybody. So that's what they say. If the men, sometimes the men you see, they're very strong and very physical. They got big muscles and things like that. And the woman is so weak and tiny. So what happens if they get into a fight? Then what happens?
Nowadays, the women beat the men.
No, that's it. No, the other thing also is the man spends on her also. So he has like some advantage of that. No.
It's a different concept nowadays. Some of these feminists beat up the men.
In Islam, everybody they got to be nice to each other, inshallah. So not to have those things there, inshallah. Not to fight. A husband and a wife should be good to each other. This is the case of discord. When people they get into like separation, argument, and things like that. That's what it refers to. And usually you find, if you look into society, even here in America, you find what do you call it? When they say the domestic abuse, do they ever mention the woman did the domestic abuse? No, it's usually always the man, right? That's what they say. Even though it might be different, but that's what you hear in the society here.
A lot of times they don't mention what happened before that.
Yes,
Say,
you're right.
The woman calls up the police, but what did she do before that?
Right. Yes.
All
Yes.
of those things that she did, nobody hears anything about.
Right. Yes.
Maybe she was not bad.
Yes.
Or maybe nothing even happened.
Yes. Yes. Right. Yes.
Getting out of the house. All these things that happen nowadays.
Yes.
Very, yes.
Yes. Okay. Inshallah. All right. So that's the next thing that the man does. If even after not going to the bed with her, not to going into the night with her, then he can, if he has authority over her. I'm not talking about the other situation, but the most he can do is with a miswak, not anything that causes agony for her, not anything that causes bruises, not anything that causes hurt for her, just as that as a sign of displeasure. That's what that refers to. All right, inshallah. Mm.
ثلاثة قطع من أهله وحكما من أهلها
Yes.
يحكم للجماعة.
Yes. So what happens if there's discord between the husband and the wife? Then it's mentioned in the Quran to appoint a family member from the husband's side and a family member from the wife's side, and the two they can get together to a meeting and try to conciliate between the two. And if they want conciliation, then they'll be conciliated, inshallah, Allah willing. So that's mentioned in the Quran also, that if there is a dispute between the husband and the wife, then they appoint a member from one side from each family, and try to work on the reconciliation between the two. And if the two want to be together, then they'll be together, inshallah. Allah willing, inshallah. All right. Okay. So read number 12, the last one. Was it Brother Sheikh Omar?
If they consider or separate what they do is binding on them.
Yes. So after that, after they appoint a family member from each side, then they can decide to reconciliate, or they can decide if they want to separate, they can do that. And the other thing to bear in mind, and this is the chapter of the divorce, when the man pronounces a divorce on the woman, it's not finalized. It's a buffer period there called the idda period, and during that time, he can take her back, and they'll still be together. So that's what you have in Islam, the rule. It's not divorce or something happens one night when people they go crazy or something like that, and then that's it. They're apart forever. So you have three divorces. You have, and you have the idda when a person, if they pronounce a divorce on their wife, then you have that buffer period where it's not finalized and they can get back together during that time. That's the other thing about the discord. And again, keep in mind the discord that happens because of the shaitan. When a person they go away from the deen and they go away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the shaitan comes and whispers to both the man and the woman, and he causes the tension and the animosity and the discord between each other. And that's the effect of the shaitan. The shaitan, يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ وَمَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. The sihr, the magic, the shaitan, he makes the discord, the separation between the man and the woman. And the way to overcome that is to have the talim in the home, to have the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the home, to have the deen in the home, and that will remove the effect of the shaitan, and what will be left is that natural attraction between the man and the wife. All right, inshallah. And the other thing is, when you have that natural attraction, the people, they love each other, and even in the Jannah, they'll be together. The man and the woman, if they love each other so much, they'll be together in the Jannah too. So isn't that amazing? No, that's inshallah. If they stay together, inshallah, they don't want to let the shaitan come and cause a discord between each other. Inshallah. All right. So, you have any questions or comments? Start with Brother Muhammad. Do you have any questions or comments? Imam Faisal, do you have any questions or comments?
They say, how come the man has the right to divorce the woman?
Well, because a man gives her all these things, So if somebody they're buying something from a seller, he has the right to take those things from the seller, or he can cancel it. The seller can't say, "Oh, you got to take these things from me," or no, you can't do that, right? So the man gives a thing to the woman; she took those things, so he has the right to get his end of the bargain. That's the reason for it. The woman already accepted those things; she accepted the dowry and she accepted the support and all those things. So that's what you have. And again, these things we got to keep in mind that it's by the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so we go by that. The man has the authority to separate a divorce. The woman, she has to do a khula and go to a Muslim judge or imam to do the separation. And that's one of the main wisdoms behind it. The man gave all these things to the woman. She accepted it, she took it, and then she's breaking her deal. It's just like if you go and you buy something, buy a car for somebody, you gave him the money over there, and the guy says, "Nope, I'm keeping the money, I'm keeping the car, I'm keeping everything." What is that, right? So it's the same thing. Like when a man, when he gives all these things to the woman, and the woman says, "Nope," right? She can't do that. No, she's got to do her end of the bargain, her end of the contract. Jazakallah khair. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordains, and a woman should not feel entitled for things. And indeed, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he saw the Jahannam, the hellfire, and he said the majority of people in the hellfire is the women. Why? Because of the entitlement. The husband does so many things for her, and she's like, "Oh, he didn't do anything for me. He did nothing for me." And that's the reason. So severe punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on justice in the akhirah, then you see the majority of people in the hellfire is women because of that entitlement, because of all the things a man does, and she doesn't appreciate it and she doesn't acknowledge it. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Brother Khalid, did you have any questions or comments? Okay, Jazakallah khair. Omar?
Yes, if a non-Muslim man or
Yes.
woman comes to you and then they say in the Quran says that the man can beat like spine the wife. How will you respond to suggestion? For example, if they're just trying to see, find fault at the Quran, not the reality.
Yeah, the thing is, if the person, they know that what this says in the Quran, you see that person is a big disbeliever, big kafir, big the one that's rejecting the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much, Because what happens is, you see, in the world today, people are ignorant. They don't know what the deen is about, they don't know what Islam is about, they don't know about the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So because of their ignorance, then they don't accept the truth and reality from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also that they might have an argument for that on the Day of Judgment. They might say, "Oh, I never heard the message. I didn't know about it. I was ignorant about it. So how could I follow your message to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?" And many of the ulama, they say that's an acceptable argument. But you see, if somebody that read the Quran and they know these things are written in the Quran, and they're still, antagonist against it, and you see they're blatantly rejecting the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're blatantly rejecting the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's kufr. That's blatant kufr. And they're going to have more severe punishment in the akhirah because of that. Because they rejected the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and openly rejected when they knew about it. That's the first thing. The second thing is the ulama, they say when you look at the Quran, you have to look at the interpretation, the meaning of the Quran from the ulama Quran. And what they say is, that the beating doesn't mean that you cause agony to the woman. It doesn't cause any bruises to the woman, any harm to the woman. It's just as a sort of displeasure for the woman, not more than a miswak. That's what the ulama, they say. So that's the thing that they keep in mind. And again, the issue is that the husband and the wife, a person, they have to try to reconcile with each other, love each other, not to have the arguments and the discord. And that is something that's from the shaitan, and the person to have to try to avoid that. And the husband is going to forgive the wife, and the wife has to overlook the husband. That's really the main thing. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "The best of you is the best of you to your family, and I'm the best to my family." Jazakallah khair, brother Omar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. But anyway, there are some men that's like that, and in the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a woman asked the advice of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that she wanted to marry a man, one man or the other man. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this man, he likes to stick. He likes to stick. So that's something for a woman to bear in mind. To look at the man. If a man likes to stick, then beware. Don't accept a proposal from that man. So that's the advice that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave. Okay, inshallah. All right, inshallah. Okay, so we'll stop over here. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfirullah. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Allah knows best.